The futurist Alvin Toffler once said that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Right there and then is a wonderful agenda for you and your team. What is it you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn? So I've been experimenting with that at a personal level for some years now. Every year I try and take on an experiment in either learning, unlearning, or relearning. For example, a few years ago, I decided to see if I could teach myself how to learn to write with my left hand. I'm naturally right-handed. And so for the better part of 8 months, every single day for maybe 2 or 3 minutes in a jotter or exercise book, I simply wrote a couple of sentences. And to be honest, the early efforts were not very pretty at all. It looked like a spider had crawled over my page. But you know what happened as I kept at it is that after about 8 months, it didn't really matter if I was in a classroom or a boardroom, whether I picked up the marker with my left or my right hand. I had equal competency with both. And having got to that point, I then stopped practicing with my left hand. Sadly, it fell away quite quickly. I'm still much better than I ever was, but it was something I needed to persist with in order to build muscle memory. A current experiment I'm doing, I got from a gentleman I watched on a YouTube clip. I think his name was Diston, and he reverse engineered a bicycle. And I thought, what a great idea. So when you turn the handlebars to the right, the wheel goes to the left. And his experiment was one of unlearning. Can you unlearn something that is hardwired into your brain? And what I've discovered in this experiment is that A, it's a process, it takes a lot of time, and B, it involves a lot of accidents, a lot of spills. It's hard work until you can rewire your brain to operate that bicycle. I think the management leadership insights here are particularly acute. For instance, why do we think when we want to change in behavior in our organization or team, we can simply issue a proclamation and hey presto, we'll get that change of behavior? If it's hardwired into your brain, it's going to be a long process and it's going to involve a lot of accidents. So I guess the real question then to ask is, what about leadership or management or your processes within your organization are hardwired into your brain? And that hardwired into your brain is now causing issues with changing behavior or changing an approach to a particular set of circumstances. I think a great question to ask yourself, a great question to ask your team is, what is it you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn?